welcome back to my channel. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.
For the base, you are going to be needing basically three things. Number one, your material, and the measurement for this material is 27 inches for the breadth. That, if you look at it, this is 13.5, and for the width we have 13.5 as well. We have 13.5. So we are going to be needing our elastic because it's a Zara cap that has elastic at the back. We are going to be needing our marco too. The measurement for this marco is 3 inches by 18. I think I've said it before. If it is satin, I usually use 18 satin or silk, 18 inches by whatever breadth I want this to be, depending on the height I want my Zara cap to be. But if it is my ashoke, I usually use 15 inches. Now for this satin, I actually folded it into two because for me I feel the satin is too, the client bought the fabric herself though, so I feel the fabric is too light, so I had to double the fabric. So now let's move into tutorial properly. What I've gone ahead to do is to mark out the midpoint of my fabric. And so what did I do? I also took my marco and I marked the midpoint. I will mark the midpoint of my marco as well. What I will then do is I will align both the marco and the fabric, the midpoint of the marco and the fabric, and I'm going to flip it over like so. I'm going to go over to my sewing machine now, and I'm going to be sewing this down. I've gone ahead to sew it. Now this is what we went to sew, so we are going to flip it over, being that this is our right side. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be pushing it to the back. I'm going to push in this our sewing line, this same line, to the back like so. So that's what I'm going to be doing. You can push it back to like around half inch to 1 inch or even more. So people push it to the middle of their marco, but I don't think that's, for me, I don't know, I just feel that's not necessary. So this is what I have after pushing it to the back. The next thing we want to do is we want to put in our elastic by the sides. Our elastic, this is the big elastic. What do you want to do? You are going to take it like so. I've gone ahead to pin down this pleated part of our Zara cap so that I won't make mistake and sew it straight. So I'm going to, this is 3 inches, the elastic is 3 inches. I'm going to take like this and insert it into the band of my Zara cap. So after inserting it, I'm going to take pin. Right now my elastic and my marco, they are right beside each other. So I'm going to take my pin and I'm going to pin the elastic down to secure it. So after pinning the elastic down, this is the elastic, I'm going to stretch it like so. I'm going to stretch it. Can you see why stretching? The fabric is actually, so I'm going to stretch it and I'm going to pin it by the end side there. If I was not making a tutorial, I'll just go over to my sewing machine and sew it, but because I'm making a tutorial, so that's why I'm pinning it. So I'm going to drag it outside. After dragging it out, I have like around 1 inch outside. I'm going to do the same thing. I've inserted my elastic in this place. Right now I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew everything down, both sides. I'm going to sew them down. This is what we have after sewing everything. So I went ahead, I sewed it down all the way to this part, to that pleated effect part. So what we are going to do right now is we're going to go over to our sewing machine and we're going to be sewing it down. I'm going to be using like around around 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to be sewing it down and I'm going to be shaping it just like the way we normally do for our turban. We're going to be slanted this side, and so when I'm shaping it, after shaping it, I'm sorry, the reason why I'm actually in a hurry is because I need to deliver this job very soon and I had the opportunity of doing something with elastic. So after shaping it, I'm going to be making this part knit, this raw edges knit, by turning it over with this particular fabric. You can use your bias, but since this fabric can be used, so I'm going to use this fabric to turn it. This is our base. I've gone ahead to ensure that the neatness of the inside. Can you see how it looks? I've gathered it as well. If you want to see the full tutorial, I have a Zara cap on my channel. Please check that out on how I did. I explained in details how I did all those ones. Now look at our stretchy this thing. So the essence of this tutorial is to show you the stretchy part of the Zara cap and also the design. So we are going to be going into the design right now. Now this is what we're going to be using for our design. We are going to be needing 3 of this. I've gone ahead to make 2. So I'm going to show you how I made each one. So this is 2 already. So how did I do this? I'm going to be needing your fabric, and the measurement for this fabric is 23 inches by 7. Now you're going to be making use of your crinoline. This crinoline it's been a while, but it's actually not crinoline for fascinator. It's crinoline for your clothes. But I like the thickness, so I like to give it when I'm working with satin. I like to use something like this to give it structure. It's because it's thicker than normal crinoline. Their texture is different. But if you don't have this one, if you can't find this one, you can make use of this type. You are just going to fold it over. Do you understand? Like this, you will just fold it over and use it, double it. But since I have this one at home, I'm going to be using it. So right now, just like I said, the measurement is 23 inches. That is when you stretch it out, 23 inches by 7 inches. And why did I use 7 inches? This crinoline is 3 inches in breadth. Here is 3 inches. So if I fold it over like so, we are going to be having 3.5, right? Now I'm going to be using ½ inch to do what? To sew it down. So we'll be left with 3 inches that this will fit into. So just like I've done this, I'm just going to go over to my sewing machine now, and I'm going to run it down, like, understand that now. This is what we have after sewing it. I'm gonna head to turn this side out. Please, if you have the chance, press it, but I am going to be continuing like this. The next thing we want to do is we want to insert our crinoline into this fabric. Now just fold the crinoline over like so and insert it. One tip that I'm going to give you is that even when you finish drawing your crinoline out, please don't cut it in the exact place that your fabric is going to finish, because you just be surprised that when you are working with, when you want to fold it over, the crinoline will just enter the clothes, enter your fabric. So just cut it away, leave space, leave crinoline here, then also cut, give it allowance here. So now ensure that this part right here, the part that we sew, is the middle. That's obviously the can you see what I'm saying? Can you see what I'm saying? But since we already have allowance here, I'm just going to be drawing it out like so. So please press it if you have the opportunity to do so. What I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be forming a bow like this. I know if you are not new to this channel, you understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to fold it over like so to look for the midpoint of this. So just like I usually say, this is a fabric marker. If I use water to clean it, it's going to come off. So don't say I'm using marker and then go and use marker. It doesn't work that way. Even if you don't, it's not going to show. Don't try it. So we are just going to, just like we usually do for our bows, and look for the midpoint. If you want to be dramatic about it, measure it out. So you want to be dramatic, measure it out, and to get the midpoint, and gather it from there. So this is my thread and my needle. So at this point we are safe, so we can trim out our excess crinoline now. When cutting it, please be careful so as not to cut your fabric with it. So we have this, and we have, remember I said I already made 2, so we have 3 of this. So what do you want to do now? This is the first one. Let's say this is the one we are going to be using as our template. I don't know if that's correct. I'm just going to come like this. I'm going to slant it like this. Did you see what I just did? This is straight. Now take this one like so, then do your what, use your thread and needle, run it through both bows. At this point You can bring in your third one. Can you see? Now this is, bring this one also like this. Slant it like so too. You can arrange it when you are done, but just as you are doing it, be arranging it. That's the best thing anyway. Don't let me say rubbish. So arrange it well. We're already having this beauty. So after ensuring, because I'm still going to tag it to my Zara cap to secure it, so it's going to be more secure, I'm going to tag this at the back like so. Next thing we want to do is we want to attach this to our base, and it's not something hard to do. Just attach it to your base, to the back or wherever you want it to be. What I'm just always particular, if you are not new to this channel, is the neatness of whatever work you are doing. Please, it has to be very neat, very neat. That's something that I take pride in and that my customers know me for. I won't do anything for you and then you will not be seeing no. No. I love when my work is very neat. I love it. I love it. So you're just going to be, just like I usually say, when you are outside there, just be taking pinches. But inside here, because we are going to be covering it with something, you can take huge lips. But when you're outside there like so, I don't like where this one went to land. When you're outside there like so, like inside, just take pinches and ensure you use a matching color of thread. Ensure you use a matching color of thread. So I'm just going to continue sewing it down. This is what I have. I finished sewing everything down. The last thing that I want to do is to attach whatever design. You can use that fabric to make design, but I bought this rose from the market and I'm going to be using it to design, to cover our work and also make this more beautiful. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and also turn on your notification button. Don't forget to share with your friends as well. See you in my next video. Bye.